Stephen Piercy's solo right here on your classic metal show with I Can't Take It. I love that song.
Pretty good.
What are you doing?
I'm eating one of my cookies.
You having a cookie?
Yeah, and you know how those cookies are. You can't just eat it fast.
Yeah, you got to have some water or something with it.
You gave me 30 seconds. I had a mouthful of cookie. I was like, trying to chew this shit up.
I hear you. No, good song there. I like that song a lot. I mean, it's just so rat. You know, it's rat without being rat.
It's as rad as anything that they've done in the last 25 years.
Yeah, it's very good stuff.
Well, I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Doghouse had sent over this story, and I had already had it bookmarked to cover, and it was just kind of coincidental that, you know, he happened to pick out one story that I already picked out, you know.
All right, so let me guess. The white man is the villain of the black man because...
No, this is not racially motivated at all.
Oh, okay.
This is
no white guilt tonight?
No white guilt.
All right.
This is just people just being kind of dicks, I guess.
Just, a lot of that going on.
There is. This might be racially motivated. It's not black on white, though.
Okay.
Sitting in his surgical gown inside a large medical suite in Reston, Virginia.
Right.
A Vienna man. Vienna.
Okay.
What is the nationality of someone from Vienna?
That Austrian?
Yeah, so I guess he's like would that be considered European? I guess.
He's Austrian, like Tim James.
Yeah, well, he's what? He's like, that's Australian.
Same thing.
No, he's kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
Right, and Tim James.
Yeah.
They're all the same, aren't they?
Yeah, I suppose. So he's white. He's not American, but he's a Caucasian.
Okay.
I guess if he's from Vienna, I'm assuming.
All right, so we'll assume that this guy looks like that guy that shot up the island.
Okay.
You know, that Bremick guy, whatever his name is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so that guy.
All right. So a Vienna man prepared for his colonoscopy.
Oh, Jesus. Really? We're going from dog fucking to fucking colon cancer?
Well, he's just getting a checkup.
All right.
By pressing record on his smartphone to capture the instructions his doctor would give him after the procedure.
Okay.
All right. So he's here in the U.S. He's from Vienna. So he's going to record what the doctor tells him.
All right.
So he can take it home with him so he can kind of follow the directions, whatever he needs to do.
Okay.
But as soon as he pressed play on his way home, he was...
shocked.
Wow, you got that dead on. Out of his anesthesia-induced stupor, he found that he had recorded the entire examination and the surgical team that had mocked and insulted him as soon as he drifted off to sleep.
Okay.
In addition to their vicious commentary,
yes,
the doctors discussed avoiding the man after the colonoscopy, instructing an assistant to lie to him, and then placed a false diagnosis on his chart.
Love this.
After 5 minutes of talking to you in pre-op, the anesthesiologist told the sedated patient, I want to punch you in the face and man you up a little bit. This is a woman. She was recorded as saying,
oh, my God.
I want to punch you in the face and man you up a little bit.
That's hilarious.
When a medical assistant noted the man had a rash,
yeah,
the anesthesiologist warned her not to touch it saying she might get some syphilis on your arm or something.
Oh, I love this.
Then added, it's probably tuberculosis in the penis, so you'll be all right. Tuberculosis in the penis.
What? I've never heard of penile TB. Penile TV, anybody?
It's TP.
TP. Tuberculosis penis. Holy shit.
When the assistant noted that the man reported getting queasy when watching a needle placed in his arm, the anesthesiologist remarked on the recording, "Well, why are you looking then, retard?" Good thing he wasn't in Pittsburgh at the Chili's.
Yeah, no shit. He'd have been having to leave that facility immediately.
Oh, holy cow.
So good.
There was much more. So the man sued the two doctors and their practices for defamation and medical malpractice. And
Wait a minute. Hold on. Please tell me he didn't win that case.
Well, I'm getting to it.
All right. Go ahead.
The man sued the two doctors and their practices for defamation and medical malpractice. And last week, after a 3-day trial, a Fairfax County jury ordered the anesthesiologist and her practice to pay him $500,000.
Get the fuck out of here. $500,000 for a hurt feeling?
$500,000.
Well, I guess because they put it on his chart, they lied on his chart.
Yeah.
That part I could see, but saying that he's a fucking faggot or whatever, a retard?
Right.
Who cares? How can that be defamation? They said it amongst themselves.
Sure.
That's not defamation. That's making a joke.
Yeah, they didn't say it out in public and, publicly, lambast this guy.
They didn't go out in the waiting room and say, hey, who's here with the retard? They just said it amongst themselves. So what?
Sure.
You've had surgery, haven't you?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Don't you think that the doctors made some kind of fucking jokes about you?
Who knows?
I know mine did. I know they did.
Have no idea.
When I was all burnt up, they fucking... Because I used to make jokes, too.
I know you told me about the Crispy Chris or Crispy or...
Oh, yeah, but that was the license plate.
Sure.
That was after when I was going through my rehab after getting all burned up. I wanted to get my license plate to say Crispy.
Right.
And my doctor told me that if I did, I wasn't allowed to come back for treatment anymore.
Sure. So did he sue you for defamation?
Well, thank God, no. I mean, apparently he could have.
Right.
Apparently I could have been sued by the whole burn community.
Sure.
Joking about my own injury.
Exactly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nothing's a joking matter these days.
Everything's got to be serious.
Whether it's marrying your dog or,
Yeah. Did you see the picture that I put up today on my Facebook with the guy offering a ring to a hot dog?
Yes. Thank you, Caitlyn Jenner.
Thank you, Caitlyn.
Yep. I identify as a hot dog.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Extra mustard.
Exactly. The plaintiff identified in the court papers only as DB. Is that DB Cooper?
DB.
Yeah.
That stands for?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Wanted to maintain his anonymity and did not want to comment about the case, said his attorneys.
You'd think he'd want to set the record straight about his retardedness.
Sure. The anesthesiologist Tiffany Ingram, 42, could not be reached for comment, and her attorney, Lee Rutland, did not return messages seeking comment.
However, they were both heard laughing hysterically in the hallway for some unknown reason.
Sure. Ingham worked out of the Aestheus anesthetic practice in Bethesda, Maryland, which the jury ruled should pay $50,000 of the $200,000 in the punitive damages it awarded.
Punitive damages.
Officials... Well, that's for the hurt feelings.
Yeah, that's fucking gay. How can you fucking be? How can be having your pussy fucking hurt be fucking have a financial value?
Well, that's what they determine. That's where the tort reforms come into play. Is like, well, my feelings were hurt. What is that worth?
How about zero? How about suck it up, fucking faggot?
Well, maybe she was right when she said she wants to man him up a little bit and punch him in the face.
Apparently so. Well, he fucking showed that he's a bitch.
Exactly.
Sure, running to fucking court. He hurt my feelings.
They said mean stuff about me when I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I was under anesthetic and they called me a retard.
Thank God I don't work at Chili's in Pittsburgh.
They're mean, like the Chili's.
Officials there did not return a call seeking comment. Ingram no longer works there, an employee said, and state licensing records indicate that she has moved to Florida. Florida? Everybody,
good choice. Very good choice.
Everybody goes to Florida.
Good choice. You get run out of Maryland, just move on down to Florida. Yeah, it's all good there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of freaks and geeks going on down there.
She'll fit right in.
An anesthesiologist practice in Tavares, Florida, said she no longer worked there.
Oh, wow.
Calls to a number believed to be Ingram's were not returned, and there was not an answering machine or voicemail at that number. Boy, they tried tough. They were after this chick.
I guess so.
I want to know your story. What the hell happened?
She's like, why is this retard haunting me like this?
Exactly. On the opening day of the trial last week, the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's that long word. Gastroenterologist.
Okay.
Who performed the colonoscopy, Solomon Shah, sounds like a good Jewish name.
Yeah.
48, was dismissed from the case. Court documents state Shah also made some insulting remarks.
Oh, jeez.
As long as it's not Ebola, you're okay, Shah was recorded saying during the rash discussion.
Well, that seems like a reasonable statement. I mean, honestly, it's not unfactual.
It's just like hey, you're fine as long as it's not MRSA or Ebola or something.
Dude, let's look a little past this.
Sure.
How fucked up must this guy really have looked? If these guys were cracking that hard on this guy,
right?
He must have been a fucking turd. I mean, just a total fucking turd. He must have been all fucked up looking.
The only person I can imagine him looking like.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what this guy looks like. It's just all in my mind's eye.
Yeah.
He's Saul Rosenberg.
He's Tom Hanks at the end of Philadelphia.
I got a rash on my ass and they knocked
my ass,
me
balls,
down.
cheeks, hairs, and face.
I got a rash on my ass, and they were like mean to me and beat me around the head and threw me down the stairs, and my shoes fell off.
Called me a retard.
Too funny.
What a bitch. We're probably going to get sued for making fun of him.
Yep.
What a bitch.
So
this guy comes off like such a bitch to me.
Well, he won $500,000 for acting like a bitch.
Look at that picture Val put in there. That's him.
Right. They were like all mean to me and stuff.
Yeah.
They were like hurting my feelings and stuff. They made me feel bad about myself.
Yeah, they did.
Wow. Something else.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow. All right. Well, there's actually some audio.
Oh, good.
If you want to hear it.
I definitely want to hear it.
Let me finish up the story here. You're going to love this.
All right.
Let's see here. Shaw was recorded saying during the rash discussion, he said, if it's not Ebola, you're okay, and did not discourage Ingram from her comments or actions, which included writing on the man's chart that he had hemorrhoids when he did not.
What a fucking dumb lie to put in his chart.
This guy's got hemorrhoids.
What a dumb lie.
I know. Neither Shaw, who did not return a message left at his office, nor the lawyers on either side would comment.
Gee, I can't imagine why.
The lawyers also would not discuss whether Ingram or Shaw faced disciplinary action from the Virginia Board of Medicine. No actions are listed against either of the board's websites.
Well, that's good.
A spokesperson for Aestheus said that said in a statement Thursday, "We apologize to this patient and regret the distress and suffering that this most unfortunate incident caused.
Yeah.
The anesthesiologist involved is no longer with our practice. Once we learned of the incident, we assured that every anesthesia staff member reviewed and reiterated their pledge to abide by a professional organization's code of ethics."
No calling on your patients retards from here on out.
Because you just cost us $500,000.
In case you guys don't remember, you can't put false information on their charts.
Right. You know how many colonoscopies we have to perform to make up that $500,000?
Yeah, really.
The jury awarded the man $100,000 for defamation, $50,000 each for the comments made about the man having syphilis and tuberculosis.
But they made them to each other.
And $200,000 for medical malpractice, as well as the $200,000 punitive damages.
See, the only one I get is the malpractice for putting something false on the fucking record.
Right.
Since when do you have to fucking be polite in surgery?
And the guy was quote unquote under anesthesia. So he would have never known any of this going on had he not hit the record on his
But even if it is going on, I don't understand the legal responsibility not to do that.
I guess this all boils down to this political correctness that we all live in these days, that it's just like, oh, don't you disparage anybody. Don't you say anything mean. Don't you be bullies.
It's just bullshit.
It is. Everybody's just hypersensitive these days.
Yeah. Just crazy.
Though the remarks by Ingram and Shaw perhaps did not leave the operating room. There we go. This is what you're after.
Yeah.
In Reston, experts in libel and slander said defamation does not have to be widely published, merely said by one party to another and understood by the second party to be fact when it is not.
So who said that if it was fact?
Well, I guess they're going, well, he's a doctor and he made that statement, so I guess that's professional opinion.
Or are they saying that this patient, because he recorded it, was scared because he thought it was fact?
Well, it could be. I don't know.
Because these guys clearly were just fucking busting each other's balls.
Or not touching this guy's balls.
Definitely not touching this guy's balls. They went right for below the taint.
I've never heard of a case like this, says Lee Burlick, the Reston lawyer who specialized in defamation law.
Yeah.
He said comments between doctors typically would be privileged.
Yeah.
But the Vienna man claimed his recording showed that there was at least one and as many as 3 people in the room during the procedure.
Yeah.
And they were discussing matters beyond the scope of the colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Usually, all legal publication requires is publication to someone other than the plaintiff.
Yeah.
Burlick said if one of the doctors said to someone else in the room that this guy had syphilis and tuberculosis and the person believed it, that could be a claim.
But no one believed it. None of these guys believed it. Somebody must have been on the stand and said, yeah, I thought he was being serious.
Yeah.
That had to have happened. That's the only way this could fucking go forward.
It's like, oof, this guy's got a rash. Don't touch it. You might get syphilis.
So them fucking joking around and one of these dummies fucking believed it?
Yeah. And then he said, well, as long as it's not Ebola, you're probably fine.
Or did one of these guys save their ass by saying, I really thought that's what he meant?
Yeah, I would guarantee you that when when push came to shove, that people were only covering their own ass.
Yeah, that's fucking terrible.
Then it's up to the jury to decide. Were the statements literal assertions of fact? The jury apparently was just so
shocked.
Nope.
Outraged.
Nope. One more.
Appalled.
Close.
Horrified.
Close.
What?
Offended.
Offended.
At this unprofessional behavior that they're going to give the plaintiff a win.
Oh,
so this all boils down to I'm offended.
Yeah.
That's what happens in the real world. One of the jurors, Fareed Karazada, good Indian name.
Talk about guilty as charged.
Indian. Yeah. You know that's an Indian.
Mm-hmm.
Said that there was not much defense because everything was on tape. It wasn't on tape. It was on digital recording.
Yeah.
It was on tape.
On tape.
Who's using tape these days?
I don't know.
He said that the man's attorney asked for $1.75 million.
Oh, my God.
And that the $500,000 award was a compromise between one juror who thought the man deserved nothing and at least one who thought the man deserved more.
I got to go with that first one.
Right.
He deserved nothing.
Yeah, that would have been you had you been on that jury.
And I wouldn't have given in for anything.
Well, that's why they came up with the compromise of $500,000 as opposed to almost $2 million.
We'd have been deadlocked.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
We finally came to a conclusion. Karazada said that we have to give him something just to make sure that this doesn't happen again. The colonoscopy took place at Shah's Surgical Suite in April of 2013.
Right.
According to the man's lawsuit. While being prepped for the procedure, the man apparently told Ingram that he had passed out previously while having blood drawn and that he was taking medication for a mild rash on his genitals. What kind of a rash do you get on your genitals?
Jesus. And what gave it to you?
I got to be honest, in my 51 years, I've never had a rash on my genitals.
I once had poison oak on my balls.
Okay.
Scratching them when I had fucking poison oak on my hands.
Right.
But that was once. I was like 12.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. This is like an older guy, right?
I have a rash on my ass. And they made fun of me and they kicked me down the stairs and then my shoes fell off. Saul Rosenberg. All right, because he was going to be fully anesthetized, the man decided to turn on his cell phone's audio recorder before the procedure so it would capture the doctor's post-operation instructions.
Right.
But the man's phone in his pants was placed beneath him under the operating table and inadvertently recorded the audio of the entire procedure.
Right.
The doctor's attorneys argued that the recording was illegal, but the man's attorney noted that Virginia is a one-party consent state, meaning that only one person involved in a conversation needs to agree to the recording. Indiana has that.
Do they?
Yeah. As long as you know you're recording, that's all you need to know.
Okay.
You don't have to tell the other person. The recording captured Ingram mocking the amount of anesthetic needed to sedate the man, the lawsuit states, and Shaw then commented that another doctor they both knew would eat him for would eat him for lunch.
Would eat him for lunch. Nice.
What are you doing?
I'm playing clips.
Oh,
I just sent you the link because I don't think you're hearing my clips.
I barely heard it.
And I can't turn them up.
Oh, okay.
It's Saul Rosenberg clips.
Oh, okay. All right. I see that. Okay.
Scroll down. All the good ones are down low.
Okay, what are we looking for?
There's some really good ones in here. I'll hit you in the gut and punch you.
Let's see how far down.
About 2/3. I'm gonna call the police on you.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
I would hit you in the gut, and then I would punch you right in your mouth.
There's one even further down that just says "sue everybody."
How about this is what this guy was saying when he was going under?
Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm real scared. Sue everybody.
Keep going down lower. There's one in there about an accident.
How about this one?
Stop laughing at me.
There's one for about an accident.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go.
I've had a terrible accident, sir.
I can only imagine this guy. All right, there's more good stuff coming this way for this story here.
Oh, there's more to this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right.
The recording captured Ingram mocking the amount of anesthesia and blah, blah, blah. He had a doctor he knew that would eat him for lunch. The discussion soon turned to the rash on the man's penis.
No.
Followed by the comments implying that the man had syphilis or tuberculosis. The doctors then discussed misleading and avoiding the man. Misleading and avoiding the man after he awoke, and Shaw reportedly told an assistant to convince the man that he had spoken with Shaw and you just don't remember it.
See, now that part is where I can see the malpractice.
Sure. Ingram suggested Shaw receive an urgent fake page and said, I've done the fake page before. The complaint states, round and round we go. Wheel of annoying patients we go. Where it'll land, nobody knows, Ingram reportedly said. Annoying patients.
Annoying patients.
I don't want to deal with this guy.
Just fucking pay me.
Yeah. Just tell him I'm not around.
Too good.
Ingram then mocked the man for attending Mary Washington College, once an all-woman school. And wondered aloud whether her patient was gay.
Right.
The anesthesiologist said, I'm going to mark hemorrhoids even though we don't see them and probably won't, and did write a diagnosis of hemorrhoids on the man's chart, which the lawsuit said was falsification of medical records.
Right.
After declaring the patient a big wimp, Ingram reportedly said people are into their medical problems. They need to have, people are into their medical problems. They need to have medical problems.
Well, I understand that to be true.
She replied, I call it the Northern Virginia syndrome, according to the suit. The doctors argued that the Vienna men did not suffer any physical injury or miss any days of work. The man's complaint said that he was verbally brutalized,
right,
and suffered anxiety, embarrassment, and loss of sleep for several months.
Right.
Those type of conversations, testified Catherine McGorlick, former president of the Academy of Anesthesiologists, are not only offensive, but frankly stupid, because we can never be certain that our patients are asleep and wouldn't recall.
Right. Well, no shit.
So she's saying, just don't do it because somebody might actually hear you.
Yeah, which is about the only reason you should not do it.
Right.
There's no reason there's nothing about hurting somebody's feelings in the fucking doctor's office.
Right.
It's just professional courtesy not to.
I agree.
You know, that's just so stupid.
Well, here's some of the audio. I haven't played any of this, so I don't know how good it is.
All right, I got to hear this.
Let's hear some of this. It's playing.
It's playing?
Yeah, it's going to play here in a second.
Okay.
It's given instructions as to what you're listening for.
Oh.
And spelled out.
You see two urologists. Well, what are you telling me for?
Area of their body. They're in a doctor's office until they get a good answer the next day.
Did you hear that at all?
Yes.
So they're talking about his rash.
Right.
So the chick is saying, if this guy's got a rash,
right.
How
is he not in the doctor?
Yeah,
immediately?
most guys are in the doctor's office like right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, how do you live with this rash?
Not this guy.
Yeah, okay. Here we go.
And also, don't mention it to me because I'm not interested.
And I don't care, exactly. And then he went on and on about it, and I'm like...
One of the nice things about being a specialist is I don't deal with that.
Really not. One of the nice things about being an anesthesiologist.
So apparently, now more of the story is kind of coming to light.
Yeah.
The patient, the guy who sued,
is a whiner.
Yeah, he basically is look at the rash on my penis.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, sir, I'm an anesthesiologist. I'm not a doctor. It's just like, yeah, but look at the rash on my penis. It's like it's like getting all over my balls and my genitals.
How are you going to help me?
And they're just like, well, that's not really my area of expertise.
My job is to put you to sleep, dickhead.
Yeah. And that's what they're saying, that he was sitting there elaborating on it.
Right.
And they're just like, I'm not really interested in your rash.
When you go to the doctor and you have had surgery, do you talk to the people at all?
Well, I haven't had surgery as an adult.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to the doctor beforehand, but even, I might say hello and they'll come in and ask me if I'm nervous or whatever. But that's it. There's no, hey, let's talk about what you're going to do today.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, the doctor will come in and go, you ready? Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's what we're going to do. And they'll give you a 2-minute rundown and they're out. And I don't talk to the anesthesiologist at all.
I can imagine this guy, he's sitting on this table.
Yeah.
And he's wearing like the gown.
Yeah, the smock or whatever.
Yeah, and he's probably pulling this thing to the side and go, what do you make of that rash on my penis?
Do my balls look swollen?
Exactly. They're just like, that's not, sorry.
My balls are itchy and red and swollen and hurting. Can you help me?
Do you think there's something you could do for that? You got some kind of creams or ointments?
Ointments.
You know that's what's going on.
Yeah, just a whiny fucking bitch.
And the chicks are like,
yeah.
No, that's not what I do.
Oh, good Lord.
You just know that's what's going on.
I know I didn't need to see that, demon. Jesus Christ. Herpes on a cock.
Right.
I never needed to see that ever.
Sure.
Thanks a lot, demon. God, that looks like it's like growing eyes. Look at it. It looks like he's growing eyes out of his cock.
I know. It's disgusting.
That is gross. Stop it.
That picture with Val. That reminds me of that Breakfast Club. Hey, Claire, you ever seen a guy with the elephantitis of the nuts? It's pretty tasty.
Ooh.
Would you date a guy like this? He's a cool dresser, drove a cool car, good dancer. Of course, you'd have to ride in the back seat because his nuts would have to ride shotgun.
Look at how fucked up his one leg is,
I know.
Yee.
Elephantitis of the nuts.
Good Lord. That's some big balls there.
Look at that fish ointment. What did the pig put on his rash? Ointment.
Why is there a picture of a fish?
Because he's telling you a story. He's like Mr. Limpet.
This show is completely off fucking any rail that ever existed. There's no fucking rail in which this show is even touching.
All right. There's more to this recording if you want to hear it.
Oh, I absolutely do.
All right.
And really, after 5 minutes of talking to you in pre-op, I wanted to punch you in the face and man you up a little bit. Amazing. Just amazing. I mean, I have anxiety and nervousness, but you have a heart attack at 40.
All right, so you, I get
don't have
where
a
all
problem
this,
with
I
this.
get where this all is coming from now. Now, in the context of listening to this discussion,
Yeah.
you kind of get it.
I don't have a problem with what
Yeah,
they did here.
because you know, and again, this is why this doctor, regardless if it was the right or wrong thing to do, said, you know, before he wakes up and if he's like asking for me and stuff, tell him I had another appointment. I got to get out of here. I can't listen to this guy ramble on. He'll sit here for the rest of the day telling me all about his aches and pains and, you know, every little thing that's wrong with him. And that's I got things I got to do.
Yeah. Well, here I'm going to share a real story, and I've never told this on the air before, and it's a gruesome story, but I'll tell it anyway. So, after I got burned up, you know, they flew me to the Metro, which is like the burn center,
Okay.
and as they were flying me there, I was screaming at these fucking doctors.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I was like, "Don't you fucking let me die, you motherfuckers!" You know, I'm dropping F-bombs and, you know, everything. And I'm screaming at these fucking doctors. And the doctor, when I landed, like, they all circled around me and pulled me off the helicopter and were like, you know, wheeling me in on the roof. And I was still screaming at these fuckers. "Don't you fucking let me die. Don't you fucking let me die." And my doctor, my main doctor, Dr. Fratty Ann, I'll give him a plug. He got right in my face, and he was like, "If you don't shut the fuck up, you're going to die."
Right.
You know, point blank, that's what he said to me. And I looked at him for a second, and I said, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I asked him, I said, "You going to get me through this?" And he was like, "I can't promise you that, but I know you won't make it unless you shut up."
Right.
You know, save your strength.
Sure.
According to this story, I should have sued him
Yeah.
for hurting my feelings.
Exactly.
What a bunch of instead of fucking praising him for that moment when he saved my life. You know, fuck. These people, so what? They're regular people. They're human beings, and they're dealing with a fucking whiny bitch.
Yeah. And you know, again, these nurses or these assistants or whatever whatever their position is.
Right.
You know, this guy, anytime one of them entered the room or was nearby, this guy had to grab their ear.
Oh, yeah. He never shut the fuck up.
You know, and they're just like, "Listen, I'm just trying to get you through this, colonoscopy. I'm just trying to prep you or whatever it is my job is.
Right.
I don't have time to listen about the rash on your balls and, you know."
Yeah, and I don't want to. I'm a fucking anesthesiologist.
that's
I
not
put you to sleep.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I do.
And
I don't fucking
I'm
massage.
really nervous about this colonoscopy. You know how many people die from these things. You know.
Yeah, good. Go tell the doctor. I'll come back.
And she's like, "Man, he's like so nervous. It's like you're going to die at 40 from a heart attack."
Yeah, I have no problem with anything. That's being said
I could
at all.
see, and this is the first time I'm listening to this, so I see in total context where this discussion or how this discussion even started.
Yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's more.
How do you deal with his lawyer?
I don't know. Because lawyers, don't you have to be pretty confrontational and kind of slimy? Isn't that how you win as a lawyer?
He's fun.
I'm sure you're down
Can you
to.
give me some lube on the phone?
You don't want you to accidentally rub up against it. Some syphilis on your arm or something.
That'll be bad.
It's probably tuberculosis in the penis, so I'm sure you'll be all right. Just take it easy and like.
All right, but they all laughed. Clearly, no one took that as serious.
Yeah, that wasn't serious. They were just like tuberculosis in the penis.
They're joking.
Yeah. So this guy is getting a pipe up his ass,
Yeah,
and he's got a rash on his genitals.
yeah.
So they're just saying, you know, this guy's got like something, you know, he's got the case of the creeping crud down here.
Right.
And they're just like, just don't get it on your arm. It's probably tuberculosis of the penis, so you'll be fine.
I hate this guy.
Yeah.
And I haven't even heard one word from this guy, but I hate him.
Yeah.
I'm with the nursing staff on this. I'd appeal.
Sure.
Age should be fine.
It's not Ebola, you're
So if you see a reaction, make
Penis Ebola.
It's penis Ebola.
So, Vicky,
Yes.
so you're going to go talk to the station afterwards, right?
Sure.
Just tell him Dr. Shaw said everything, you just don't remember it. I'm just repeating it.
You're gonna have to have a timer go off, or have like a fake page.
Maybe.
Dr. Shaw, you need it urgently in the office. Okay, I have to go now.
Actually, I
Excuse me.
have a patient to see.
There we go.
See, he was joking.
Of course he was.
He was totally joking.
Yeah. This is fucking a travesty that
Yeah,
these guys are
this
paying.
is just workplace banter.
You know what it is? This guy's a fucking... He may be a bitch, but he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
And as a lawyer, he just sued.
Yeah, he saw Rosenberg.
Yeah, oh, I'm
He's-
going to sue you.
He saw Rosenberg, the lawyer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to sue you for everything you have
Mm-hmm.
because I can't earn on my own.
Right.
Bitch.
Yeah, this is definitely just workplace goofing banter.
Yeah. They're just making it through the day.
That's it.
Yeah, this is pathetic. I hate this country. I hate what we are.
I've done the fake page before. So when he knew there was something wrong when he took 15 minutes to change his clothes, I'm like, you're a guy. How many clothes are you wearing?
Yeah, it's jacket
And
pants.
I'm putting his ID in. He's like, I always pass out when I look at them.
Great.
Put my ID
Well,
in.
why
I
are you
said,
looking
"Looking."
then,
I
retard?
said, turn your head. Why are you looking?
They don't believe-
I think I'm going to pass out from you putting that needle in my arm. Well, then don't look over here.
Hey, you fucking retard.
Look away.
What's wrong with retard?
Yeah, well, again.
You know?
Yeah, if I was the jury
Yeah.
and I heard this recording,
Throw it out of court.
I'd throw it out. I would go, you know what? These guys are just getting through the day. Just exactly what you said.
yeah. I mean,
They weren't
just-
being serious. They weren't being disparaging. They were
and
just
they weren't doing it to anybody other than their own internal staff.
yeah, and they weren't being serious either. They were just having fun and just kind of trying to lighten up the atmosphere a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Of this fucking guy with his fucking blood red balls.
Yeah,
Fucking and that's getting ready to get a fucking stick up his ass.
right.
Yeah, I might need to loosen up the mood too before I went into that fucking zone.
Exactly.
Jesus.
what they want to believe. These people are into their medical problems. They need to have medical problems.
I call it the Northern Virginia syndrome.
It does. I agree. It seems to be a heck of a lot worse here because it was not like this in Texas.
Here it's like the holier than
Well, they're
thou.
more tough in Texas, I think.
No, here it's like the holier than thou. Too much internet use, a little too much information kind of.
Too much internet use, too much information.
But again, none of this is like fucking criminal.
None at all.
None of this is criminal.
So he's just like saying, yeah, these coastal people, and you always find it on the coast, whether it's the East Coast or the West Coast,
Right.
that people seem like they act as if they're above everyone else.
Right.
You know, and that's what the girl was saying. Yeah, we didn't have this problem in Texas.
Right.
But
No.
Joe, over here in the East Coast, in these what do you want to call privileged areas or upper scale areas, you get people who are just, whining just for the sake of whining.
Right.
That's what she was saying.
Yeah, and from the sound of it, it sounds like she's probably right with this guy.
Absolutely.
He was all fixated. I'm going to be out of here by 1:30, right? What happens at 1:30? I just told him, like, it'll take as long as it takes.
It's his own fault.
Well, exactly. I mean,
That's
I'm
most
not
of
going to
my
be
time
shy about
cleaning
saying
shit.
your prep was awful.
If this time was clean, this would be a 10-minute colonoscopy because there's nothing wrong with
You are
it.
not going to be out of here by 1:30 because of your own negligence. He's a lawyer. He'll understand that word.
Wow.
Again, nothing wrong with what she just said.
Yeah. He's a lawyer. He'll understand. His own negligence caused him to not get out of here at 1:30.
Yeah.
I'm holding you accountable, sir.
I don't hear anything illegal though.
I don't either.
Now, one word of this is illegal.
I just find it as just lighthearted banter.
And again, there's no law that says that you can't offend somebody.
Sure.
They don't have to, You don't have to be inoffensive at your job.
Right.
You don't have to be. And if the guy created an ad, it sounds, and maybe I'm way wrong on this, but from the sound of it, it sounds like this guy created this hostile attitude toward him.
And I don't even find it so hostile so much as just annoyed.
Just a shitty attitude toward him.
Right.
But what I'm saying is he created it.
Yeah, I agree.
He wasn't the guy that just came in, fucking took off his clothes, put on his smock, and said, "Here, let's do this."
Yeah.
He's the guy that was a pain in the fucking dick
Yeah,
at every step.
He dragged it out. They said, well, it took him over 15 minutes to get undressed and get this gown on and get in here.
Yeah, he's the pain in the ass.
Yeah, how long does it take to take your socks, shirt, pants, and your shirt off and put a gown on? What, 5 minutes?
Yeah, maybe. I doubt it take that long.
At that amount, 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, this guy made everybody fucking uncomfortable with him, and they joked about it.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
Sure.
Don't be a dick next time. Of course, we're wrong and he's right because he took $500,000 off these fucking poor slobs.
He did.
He did. I fucking feel bad for these people.
Round and round they go. Wheel of annoying patience it goes. Where to land, nobody knows.
Oh, I saw Charlene. She had lunch with me.
I feel bad. I shouldn't be so mean. I'm going to mark hemorrhoids, even though we don't see them. They probably won't. I'm just going to take a shot in the dark.
All right, well, that's the only part that's illegal.
And that's probably what sunk them.
Yeah, because that's the only part.
Yep.
But the rest of it all seemed good to me.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. Think about if you were the fucking anesthesiologist and I was the assistant here.
Sure.
Think about what the banter would have been then instead of these guys with their lighthearted wheel of annoying patience.
Exactly.
Me and you would have been like, man, I hope this fucker dies on the table. I hate this fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
I hope he has a stroke when we cut him. That's where we'd have been.
Yeah. Well, apparently, again, listening to the context of, what they were saying.
Right.
As opposed to the story that was reported.
Yeah.
I didn't see or hear anything in there that said, man, these guys should be sued.
Me either. Nothing.
Because, even in my workplace, I cut up a little bit and joke a little bit. And it's just like, ha, 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 ha,
Well, I don't have the luxury of that in my serious environment that I work in.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I've met your people. I've met your people, and that you work with, and they're just a regular bunch of people just trying to get through their day.
Exactly.
Including the bosses.
That is true.
I met both of your bosses, and they both were just kind of relaxed,
very casual.
Yeah, not like, well, what are you here to show us today, sir? Not like that at all. Very comfortable. That office was very, very easy to be very comfortable in like a second.
Right.
As it should be in a small business like that. As it should be in any business like that. You shouldn't have to walk into a business and get into some fucking stiff, scary environment.
Yeah, you got to walk on eggshells.
Yeah, because that makes you do your job less effectively.
Exactly.
If you're not relaxed.
Well, again, I'm glad I did not hear the taped
right.
recorded conversation prior to reading the story.
Right.
Because I read the story and I go, wow, these guys were being dicks. And then I listened to it and I go, wait a minute. They're just kind of like cutting up a little bit and just getting through the day, as you pointed out.
Right.
And that's it.
That's it.
There's nothing sue-worthy there. The only thing, as you mentioned, and I agree with, is that her putting a misdiagnosis on the chart intentionally.
Yeah, is the only thing that she's really guilty of.
Yeah. And for all you know, that may have been the straw that broke the camel's back, as the old saying goes.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure that is the problem.
Yep. So had she not done that, I guarantee you that case would have been thrown out.
Oh, I'm certain of that.